Let's go. This is the last day of November. Oh my goodness. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I was sad on Thanksgiving because the Cowboys lost, but I was happy on Saturday that Alabama won. That's why I'm representing my hoodie, representing Alabama with this hoodie on. Y'all ready? Y'all hear what I'm saying? All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
You can't punish people for mistakes. It's like you have to forgive people. And a big part of that, is forgiving yourself. We don't forgive ourselves for stuff, and it makes it impossible for us to forgive other people. That last time with Daddy-O, I just learned what love is. Love is not punishing people and beating on them for what they did and hanging on to that trifling shit, that they did to you. And it's like getting out of being a victim, and Daddy-O and his death purified my heart in a way that I love life. Like, I love the opportunity to be better. I love the opportunity to work with people to find their way. And he helped me cultivate like an emotional invincibility. To love and to be loved is really all there is. And everything else needs to be set up to support that. When you see things and you read things in the press and you don't understand exactly what's going on, just know that everybody in my life and everybody on my side and in my team and my wife and my ex and my children, what you're watching is an experiment in unconditional love.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Intentional Tuesday. Guess who I got with me? I flew her in from Atlanta, Georgia. You know who I got, right? This is my girl, the Dani Cook. Good morning, DC. How you doing?
Morning, good morning, good morning. I swear, like, whoever you be around in the morning, I hope they're not they can't be like, oh, I'm not a morning person, because it just will never work in life. It will never work.
You already know. You already know. The person I was married to was not a morning person. Uh, my coworkers, when I used to work at a nuclear plant, were not. Okay, ask me this question. Dr. Sims, what would they say before the 7 a.m. meeting every day? Ask me that question.
Okay, so Dr. Sims, what would they say before the 7 a.m. meeting every day?
They gave me that look you just gave me and said, Dr. Sims, it is too early for that. You just need to go sit down somewhere, okay? Okay? Yeah, it's too early for all that.
On 1,000. So I'm like, I just know whoever you are with in life, she got to be like, oh, it's morning time. Ooh, let's do it. Yeah.
Oh Lord, that was so real. Oh, hold on.
She's like, no, I'm not a morning person. I need my cup of coffee first. She gonna have a hard life.
That was so real. Wednesday morning, I was calling around pretty much, some of my partners and everything. One of my football buddies, I called him, and he's an Eagles fan. I'm a Cowboy fan, and we small talk and we play Madden on the PS5. And he said, Dr. Sims, hold on, Doc. You always on 100 every time you call me. He said, you good, Doc? I said, I'm good, Morris. I am so hyped. But Dani, how are you today, my friend?
Look, and the standard response we always say is, oh, I'm okay. No, so like whatever okay is, right. I have not been, I am just okay.
Yes, ma'am. And so yes, ma'am.
What that means is I'm very aware of where I'm at, what I have on my plate, and I'm doing my work and balancing and, identifying my stuff that comes up and working through it and pushing on. And that's the space that I'm in right now. Like everything is not absolutely golden and amazing.
That's so true.
It's cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. You know what I mean? But it just is what it is.
To pick up our conversation from last time, because we are working on a webinar for next week. Are you okay? Really? So again, help everybody with this, because this just made everybody high five in the chat room when you started talking about it. How do you keep Dani when you feel yourself kind of wobbling a little bit, when you feel yourself not being Dani? How do you get back to that center space? How do you get back to that good space? And the way that you do it is so awesome. How do you stay right here?
Yeah, I mean, so number one, I don't always do that. And the thing is so sometimes we have this expectation that we have to bring ourselves back. And, we are wrong if we are not in a good space.
That's a good point. Whatever. That's a good point.
And the reality is we are human beings, right? And so a lot of times if we attempt to force ourselves into an okay space when we are not okay, one, we're not being authentic.
That's good.
Right? And if you are not being authentic and you keep repressing and avoiding the stuff that is coming up, it's coming back around, right? And just think of it like it's like a little bitty snowball. Like today, okay, I have a small little snowball.
That's
good. It ain't really great. It's a little too cold for me to touch. I don't really want to deal with it right now. So I just put it over to the side, right?
Right.
And you keep doing that because, this is who I'm supposed to be. This is who I should be. This is how I'm supposed to show up in life. This is who I need to be for everyone else. So I can't afford to deal with my snowballs. And I just keep stacking them over here so that I can pretend to be okay.
Wow.
And next thing you know, we're surprised when the avalanche comes.
And that thing, and you can hear it, that thing start.
Listen, you can hear the rumbles and everything. You're like, oh, Lord Jesus. Ain't no sense in running.
And you be like,
get away from it fast enough. It's just coming. And so for me, what I really do try to do is be so mindful.
That's good.
And so aware of where I'm at and give myself grace to be where I am.
Amen.
I don't have to be okay. I don't have to be. And guess what? I don't have to be okay to be a coach, right?
That's good.
Because that's inauthentic as well, right? So like, I'm going to show up every day where I am. And be okay with that. So, and it's that sweet space between being mindful of where I am and choosing not to stay in that space longer than it serves me.
There you go.
So
there you go.
We don't recognize that being in the not okay space is actually serving you, right? Stuff comes up.
Yes, it does.
That you can resolve it and deal with it and grow and continue to become the highest and best version of you.
Ooh,
right?
That's good. That's good.
That's why it comes up. So it is serving you and serving your highest interest.
That's good.
In that moment at that time, right? And so stay there for as long as it enables you to do the work.
That's good. Stay there. Stay there.
Learn the lesson.
Stay there.
And once you got the lesson, right, and you can now be like, oh, I get this.
Yeah.
Oh, I can address this.
That's right.
Oh, here's what I learned. Then move on.
That's good. That's good.
So it's knowing when it's time to come out and how long you need to sit with it.
Mindy just put that in the chat box. What she said. Mindy says hello. Mindy says good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Mindy. Hey, Miss Vanessa. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Thelma. Hey, Wilma. Hey, Mama. Hey, everybody. And they just giving you much love this morning because Mindy just said you taught her. And I've learned, and I use it in my coaching, I've learned it's okay not to be okay. So why do we put such, and let's unpack something you said a moment ago. We have to put this front up because people don't give you a lot of space or grace to not be okay. So when did you learn that, you know what, time out? It's okay not to be okay, and I need to sit here for a minute. When did that click for you?
So there's a difference. There's the space where I learned it from a protecting myself and an ego space, right? Because there are a lot of people today who brag about not being okay. Look, this is just the way I am.
I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm keeping it real.
Look, my fallback game is strong. Listen, if your fallback game is strong, you are not okay, right? If you are okay with just who you are and you don't need nobody else, or if all
Wow.
men ain't nothing and there's no good women and any of that, you're not okay,
That's
right?
good.
You are operating from a space of walls and things that you think keep you safe, but you're truly not okay. And so, like, I was in that space where I knew I was not okay and it was okay not to be okay, but
Yes,
not from
ma'am.
a healthy perspective.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. And that's the difference. So, like, if you know you're not okay and you're like, well, it just is what it is, you can be in that space and it not be for your best, it not be for your benefit. Right. So, it's about the shift of being able to be okay and not in judgment.
That's good. That's good.
Being able to be okay and not feel guilty. And that's much harder to be okay and be okay with not being okay and not feel shamed about it.
That's right.
Like that is where the work is.
That's right.
That's where the work is, because we all experience these moments and times and situations where we are not okay.
That's right. Yeah.
And
that's right.
Being able to be there and not feeling guilty or shameful about being there is completely different. And that's where it takes work. It takes,
that's right.
To use an old social work term, leaning into the discomfort.
Right. Come on now. And people, and this is such a great segue why you and I are doing the webinar next week, because we want to give people some tools to deal with the not okay. Hashtag the not okay, because I would say, now you back me up, Coach. I would say 89% of the people are right there where they know they need to work, but they're leaning into the discomfort. It's about 90% people right there. So they need to get pushed to get the work done, because 2022 is around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So what are you and I building for next week?
So first of all, it's about being able to identify and be authentic about where you are.
Right.
And this is the piece that a lot of people miss. So a lot of people will know how they are. People know how they are. Like,
right.
I don't trust easy. I don't ask for help. I don't da-da-da-da-da. People know how they are.
Right.
Very few people know who they are.
That's right.
Right. At their core, under all of that. And people forget the next step. Once you know how you are, like, don't stop there. Like, don't be like, oh, this is just how I am.
Hold on, let me write that down.
I need you to find out why you are the way you are. And then the most important thing is that where you want to be?
Hey, I asked that question. Good morning again, everybody. Hey, Ms. Vanessa. Hey, Dr. Troy. Hey, again, Mindy. Nice to meet you, too. Hey, Wilma. I asked that question in class 2 weeks ago. And we're going through the law of attraction now, this third installment of my Earn to Learn training. And I paused the class and I said, wait a minute. Who are you? And the class stopped and they paused and they were like, I said, isn't that a hard question to answer? And they were like, wow. They were scratching their head, Dan. They were like, I never thought about it. Because
it's 3 letters and they work together. So
come on.
W-H-N-O, right? Who you are, and then how you are, H-O-W.
That's right.
Just rearrange the letters. And when you can put those 2 things together,
that's right.
So one comes from a place of this is who I've become, and the other one is this is who I've created myself to be. And here's what I mean by that.
Come on.
Most of us know how we are, right? We know how we behave, what we do.
That's right.
And we don't know who we are, right? Because how we are is a result of the things that have happened to us.
That's right.
So all the good, the bad, the ugly, the pain, the triumphs, the disappointments, all of that have shaped us and determined how we operate in this world. And so that's a reaction. So you become someone. You are is defined by how you are, right?
That's right. That's good.
But when it's done that way, it's reactionary. But if you can determine for yourself who you desire to be, not who life made you.
Come on.
Not who life made you, but who do you desire to be? If you had no other labels, if you had no other requirements, if I took away your title of Dr. Sims, of Coach Sims, of ex-husband, of pastor, of whatever the titles are. Because with titles come expectations around your behaviors and how you should think and feel and act.
That's right.
But if I got rid of all of your titles And at your core, you could create the human being you desire to be.
All right, now that's good.
Who would that be? And once you determine who you want to be in this life, it will govern how you show up.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
That's
Because
exactly
now
right.
I won't show up any kind of way. I won't show up as my fallback game is strong. I won't show up as I can't or don't ask for help.
That's
I won't
good.
show up that way because who I desire to be is authentic and vulnerable and empowered and high performing, and like that's who I desire to be. So because that's who it is, when my environment shifts and when my environment breaks and when my environment is shaking, I can stay rooted because I'm very grounded in who I desire to be in this life.
That is so good. That is so good. So talk a little bit about our webinar next week. Everybody in the chat is going crazy. They love this. This is good talk. This is good, y'all.
So
y'all, this is Dani Cook.
About being aware, becoming mindful. What is the practice of mindfulness? What does it mean to become aware? You hear people talk about negative self-talk. Are you really aware of what you say to yourself? Are you aware of how you speak to you and others?
That's right.
Have you taken one day and had a Post-it note and jotted down every time you have a critical judgment of yourself?
Wow.
Right? Have you ever done that? And then gotten to the end of the day and then multiplied it by 365 and listened to what you are not only saying to yourself, but telling the universe you desire in life.
That's right.
So we're going to talk about the practice of becoming mindful and the sweet place between reflection and regret. So I believe reflection is empowering. Reflection is how we learn our lessons and how we grow. But if you reflect and add judgment, then you get regret.
That's right.
Right? So if I can reflect on my choices from the past and I can give myself grace for where I was and what I knew and didn't know at the time and simply doing the best that I could, then that allows me to get lessons and nuggets and be appreciative and grateful for those challenges and those hardships and who I was, right?
Right, that's right.
However, if I reflect on that and then I add judgment, then it equals regret. So we're going to talk about the practice of reflection, right? Absence judgment, so that we can avoid regret.
Oh, that's
right?
good.
So that we can grow from a place that is pure, that is kind, that is graceful and forgiving, right? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to be okay and what does not being okay look like.
Right.
And how do you determine what you need in that space?
That's
so
good.
Are you just simply not okay and you need a friend or a listening ear or whatever? Are you not okay and you just need a shift in your environment? Do you need to go for a walk? Do you need to go get a workout in?
Come on.
Do you need a short staycation? Or are you not okay and you need a coach? Are you not okay and you need therapy, which is very different than a coach?
That's right.
Right? So being able to understand there are levels to not being okay. And then being able to identify, okay, so this is the space that I'm in and what tools do I need to get to be okay, right? So those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about next week, and identifying that regardless of what people think and believe, most of us are not okay.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
My personal opinion is that the greatest evidence that we are not okay is the world that we live in today.
Right. That's exactly right. That's
I really
exactly
do believe that. We live in a world where empathy and compassion is not celebrated by the mainstream. Not saying that it's not celebrated at all.
Right.
Not saying that there aren't a large number of people who are compassionate or who are about empathy, but saying that our main streams of media and corporations and institutions and government, our main pieces, they don't push us in this direction of wholeness and wellness.
That is correct. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yes.
Being not okay, being hurt, being a victim, being depressed, etc. What you're saying, it's too much money. It's too much money.
Yeah. Well, it's too much money in so many different ways. So
that's right.
Money. We can think of big pharma, and that's true. We can think about healthcare, and that's true.
Right.
But it's also not okay for in our for-profit prison systems, right? A ton of the people who end up in the prison system are people who are using drugs and alcohol and who have mental health issues.
That's right.
Right. Those are social issues. Those are like wholeness and well-being issues. Those aren't criminal issues. They're not. And so, but our systems have been created to make a ton of money off of unwellness, right?
That's exactly right.
And so you have to understand that these are the things that are in place. So it's coming out of the norm.
That's right.
And then being able to say, okay, so I want something different. I was thinking about this morning because I see a ton of Christian people, especially on Clubhouse, very focused on what they consider to be financial literacy.
Okay.
Well, let's just say this. The financial system that we have in this country, first of all, was not built for us.
Right.
That's right. It was not built for BIPOC people. Period. It wasn't, right? And so now what we have are a ton of BIPOC people saying, you need to learn their system so that we can rise out of this crap. Well, do we? Or do we want to change the system entirely? Because the system wasn't built for us. And do we want to learn a system and master a system so we can join some other folks and leave the other people behind? Or do we want to change the system totally?
That's correct. Right?
I
mean, which one do you want to do?
So, I mean, I have some of an issue when we say, okay, well, we need to learn and be like them. Really? Do we?
Come on.
Do we? Because how is what they doing working for the rest of society?
That's right. That's right.
So and I have nothing against being wealthy or rich, right? So if you got a meal or two in the bank, good for you, right? Do I, in my heart, believe that there is a reason for billionaires? I do not.
I hear you.
I do not. You cannot possibly spend that amount of money in your lifetime. And so for me, so there's this great practice in the Tao, right? Where it talks about knowing when to stop.
Right.
So when you grow your business, how big is big enough?
How big is big enough? Come on.
When you save, how much is enough? When you buy a house, how big is big enough? Right? How many do you need?
Come on.
Knowing when to stop is not knowing when to, it's not like being a quitter, but it's saying, I have enough.
I have enough.
So why not give this away or teach someone else how to have what I have? Right? So it's knowing, like this amount. So, and that amount's going to be different for different people. So if you are carrying more people in your family, if you are whatever, but once you and yours are like here,
right?
How do you know when is enough? And most people today don't know when enough is. Not with our food, not with our sleep, not with our money, not with nothing, because we come from a society that breeds and pushes fear of lack. Fear of lack. All you hear is there's not enough time, not enough money, not enough this. You ain't enough. Your daddy ain't enough. Your baby daddy ain't enough. He ain't got enough.
Come on.
Like this is the world that we live in.
We hit a breaking point. That's good.
What is enough?
What is enough? We hit my client and I. We meet on Mondays, and we just had a breakthrough because that light bulb came on for her. They call it FOMO in relationship space, fear of missing out. That is so prevalent in our society. You know what I'm saying? Again, good morning, everybody. We sitting here with the Dani Cook Part 7. We having a good conversation this morning. Okay, y'all, real quickly, we got about 10 more minutes left. Ask a question. Ask anything you want. Dani can answer anything. She can answer any question.
I didn't know we was doing this today, but let's go.
Ask a question. Real quick.
I want to ask.
Mindy, ask Dani a question. Mindy just said, to your point a few moments ago, she said last year she hit that wall and she realized she needed therapy. She didn't want to do it, but she said it's been the best thing that she has done for herself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hit that wall in 2012.
Yeah, amen. And this is such a good conversation this morning, my friend. We hyped about next week, and you revving up to get excited about next week. We revving up.
This matters to me.
Amen.
Like I get when you see me get revved up, it's because I truly believe that this is a core issue that's impacting us, and it's showing up everywhere in this life.
Amen.
It's showing up in relationships or lack thereof. It's showing up in our jobs and careers. It's showing up. People talk about like the millennials and the younger generations. I think they have it better than we do in a lot of respects because they are breaking out of the norms that we've been taught. They are saying, no, I don't want to go just sit in a cubicle for 40 hours a week just to own a house. You know what? I would rather have me and another roommate or two and still live in a nice place, but we're all doing the things we love.
Amen.
And making enough
That's
money
a good
to get
point.
by.
That's a good point.
And so there's something to be said for that.
That's a great point.
I think the pandemic really showed us that the models that we've had for life aren't necessary.
That's such a great
necessary. Having a bajillion high rises in the middle of the city with half of them empty, but new businesses want new spaces and all of that for people to come and be away from their loved ones.
Right.
And okay, so right now I have a friend who's recovering from COVID.
Okay.
And like legitimately, she was in ICU and almost died.
Oh, wow.
Because she had complications from diabetes with her COVID. And it has only been a week and a half, I think, since she got out of the hospital.
Wow.
And literally, let me be generous, and I'll say 2 weeks, right? But literally last night, she's saying to me, I felt like I would be farther along than I am right now. And I just about, resigned myself that I'm not going to be able to go back to work in a week. What is wrong with us that someone could almost lose their life?
Wow.
And they are operating from a space of fear and this need to get back to work.
Wow.
We are so lost in our priorities about what really, truly matters. People, this idea that having sick days and like our families aren't supposed to matter. And like, I had this conversation with an entrepreneur that I was working with. And she was talking about, we're talking about paying people, we're talking about minimum wage.
Okay.
And she was like, yeah, but I mean, $10 an hour is blah, 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 blah for an assistant and da, 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 whatever. And why am I responsible for them paying this and doing that and whatever? And I said, well, let me just say this to you.
Amen. Come on.
Try this on.
Come on.
Right now, what you have is you have an employee who makes too much to get help, right? And not enough to sustain and flourish.
Right.
So now what you have is you have an employee who, while they're on the clock, is seeing phone calls from bill collectors. While they're on the clock is like, or before they leave, they're seeing eviction notices when they check their mailbox. So what you have is an employee who cannot, if they want to, give you their best.
Wow.
Because they are stuck in survival mode. So what happens if you pay them an extra $5 an hour? And that $5 an hour covers their basic human needs. They can feel safe and secure because they have a roof over their head. They can feel safe and secure because they have food coming on the table. They can feel okay. Now what you have is an employee that when they are on your dime, can give you higher productivity. Yeah. They are not worried and focused on the other things. You now have a more productive, more higher producing employee. Guess what? Who is more grateful to you. And if your employees are grateful and they feel appreciated, they will work harder for you.
And they remain loyal.
And remain loyal and be there longer. And guess what? Maybe you wouldn't be on your third or fourth assistant at this point. Maybe you wouldn't be spending money on Indeed ads and trying to find somebody new, right? Your company would most likely be making more money.
Yeah, that needs to be on CNN.
You're saving a penny by not giving her a little bit more, right? How much are you actually losing from your company by not giving her a little bit more? And people don't look at it from that perspective.
That's so good. That is so good. So when are we doing our webinar, Dani?
We are doing it next week on the 8th at 6:30 p.m. I will have the link for you guys to register. By the way, it is free. We are doing this one for free. All you have to do is register. Enter your name and your email address. You'll get a confirmation email. The email will have link for the actual masterclass, the webinar that we're going to do. And the idea is for us to have a real conversation about where we are, being honest and authentic, and creating a safe space that doesn't have judgment, that doesn't create guilt and shame, and gives people some tools to be able to say, oh, wow, this is something that I can do. Even if it's something as simple as giving you a breathing technique at the end of the day. Like, here's something you can do. So before you go to sleep, you can get your body calmed down. You can release that stress a little bit and actually have a more peaceful sleep. So your body can start to heal itself. Like most of us, we don't breathe from our bellies. We do not breathe from our bellies. We don't even know what that means. Most people don't want to breathe from their bellies because they're afraid it's going to add 3 inches to their waistline, and we all got to stay slim anyway, right? We're not giving ourselves
Great.
The opportunity to operate at our optimal, highest best, and do what we were naturally designed to do.
Amen.
We were naturally created to heal ourselves and to thrive and to be well. And we just have to start to assess the agreements that we've made in our lives. Like, what does it mean to be successful? What does it mean to have enough? What does it mean to, be financially stable? What do those things truly mean to you?
What does it look
have you
like?
agreed to?
Yeah.
And then reevaluating them and seeing what really works in your life. And so it's December 8th at 6:30 p.m. You're gonna see a link up on my page and on Dr. Sim's page. All you got to do is register, reserve your spot. You will get a confirmation email with the link in it, and then you will get another email the day before that says, "Hey, tomorrow's the day," because y'all know y'all be forgetting stuff. Just saying. And then you'll get another one like an hour before it starts that said, "Okay, now's the time. So here's what you need to do.
Let's go. Let's go.
Get your beverage of choice. Like put your do not disturb on and give yourself
Amen.
a good 60 to 90 minutes to give yourself some tools that are going to be really beneficial to you as a person, because most of us are
Amen.
Not okay.
That's right.
And
that's good.
And there's no shame in that, and we can do some things to be okay together.
Amen. So how do people follow and keep up with the Dani Cook?
So on Facebook, it is the Dani Cook, right? There's two pages, my professional page and my personal page. You'll see most people follow me on my personal page because I'm more active there, because it just is what it is. But you can follow me on there. Same thing with IG. It's the Dani Cook, right? Same thing on TikTok, although I ain't been on there in a good old minute. It's just not I can't get it going, whatever.
I feel you.
But that's it. That's how you do it.
Amen. Well, thank you for stopping by, my friend. I am hyped and excited about next week. And just to share space with you is just one of the things I'm thankful for this November. You know what I'm saying? And so be encouraged, and we'll be in contact before next week. And I appreciate you so much, my friend.
Appreciate you as well.
All right, y'all. That's the Dani Cook. Y'all, we can run to a commercial break real quick. I am excited about next week. We hit some good stuff this morning, y'all. We hit some good stuff. So y'all hold tight. We're going to run to a couple of quick commercials, and we'll be right back. Keep those pens out and keep that turnover as a new page, because I got a few things to talk about. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey now, if you'd like to donate today to the Dr. Walter Sims Show, please donate at Cash App, $Walter H. Sims. Yes, that's Cash App, $WALTERHSIMS. That's Cash App, $Walter H. Sims.
Hey guys, if you're sitting there on my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Like this video, turn on that bell notification so that you'll know when I go live. That's how Dr. Troy popped in here, because she has that bell notification turned on. Our YouTube channel is growing. When you hit that like button, when you share it, it lets YouTube know, hey, let's pay a little bit more attention to Dr. Sims. Amen. And I just want to thank you for being part of my followership. And you are the wind beneath my wings. Dani talked about if all my labels were gone, who would I be? I'm an encourager. I love people. I like to see people live their best life and to do what they've been contracted by the universe to do. We all have a purpose, and it just does my heart. It just blesses me on so many levels. For me to see people doing okay, and that's why I'm excited about the webinar next week. So listen, if you're sitting there on my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and please share this with your friends. Please share this with your friends, because hey, we want them to join this party, this Dr. Sims party. We want them to join it. All right. Well, listen, y'all stay right there, because I got a movie I want y'all to watch. Let's see. There it is right there. Let me move this up. There we go. Hey guys, listen. What is this scene right here? Episode 1 of True Story. Kevin Hart is a comedian. His brother, he's been helping his whole life. They're going to get in a situation. And I don't want to be a spoiler, but they're going to get in a situation. So the whole series is based on that one situation. And episode 1, it just, Dana was saying a few minutes ago, when you're rich and wealthy, that's a level of expectation, and people latch on to that. Just check it out. It's on Netflix. It is good. All right. Check it out. It is good. It is good. It is good. Okay. Check it out. I am trying to do, I'm going to probably watch episode 2 tonight, but it is good. It's got Wesley Snipes, Kevin Hart, a couple more actors that you'll know them when you see them, but it's just good. It's called True Story on Netflix. Get your popcorn. It is good. Check it out. I think it's got about 8 episodes. It's a limited series. It's got about 8 episodes. It is good. All right. We got a new segment I'm calling Health is Wealth. And this is sponsored by True Coverage. And I talk about them. I got a video I'm going to play in a moment about truecoverage.com. Health is wealth. And Danny touched on this, that the prison system is full of people that are suffering from some mental health issues. The holidays are from October the 31st until January 31st. It's the darkest time of year. Darkest in the sense that it brings on a lot of depression. It brings on a lot of anxiety for whatever reason. It brings on a lot of feelings of regret, you know. Like Danny said about our friend, I should be further along than I am right now. I have clients that talk like that. And so we need to, the part of health as well is, how are you mentally and emotionally? Physically, you may, that's a conversation, and we'll talk about that during the next show. Every segment, every show now, I'm going to have a health is wealth. We're starting a health is wealth segment. How healthy mentally, emotionally, how healthy are you on a mental and emotional level? And we don't realize that our mind is the engine that drives this thing called a body. The body doesn't drive the mind. And I'm just speaking holistically, because the body can go on autopilot. But by and large, the mind is the engine. I had to get a jump at the grocery store last night because my battery, every now and then, my battery acts up and I need to get it checked. Every now and then, I need to get jumped. Every now and then, your mind is going to have a hiccup. And depending on how healthy it is, can it handle that hiccup? And so our challenge as coaches, therapists, counselors, etc., social workers, etc., part of our calling is to make sure that you're okay. And if your mental is not in a good place, you need to get some help. One of our listeners today, Mindy, admitted, raised her hand, I have been in therapy, and it's been the best thing since sliced bread. You need to go to therapy. You need a life coach. You need a counselor. You need an accountability partner. All of those soft skills, that's the reason I'm teaching this class, Earn to Learn, for the SNAP program in the city of Dothan, to give them some life skills. People are battling fear this time of year on all kind of levels. So when we ask you, are you okay? Sit with that for a moment and really ask yourself, am I okay? If you don't feel fulfilled, if you're not happy, if you don't have joy, if you just don't wake up bouncing like me, I'm so happy, you feel me? Your health is your wealth. Because if you're not well, you cannot operate. If you're not well, if you are not well, you can't show up like you're supposed to. And this segment is sponsored by True Coverage. And I'm about to play a commercial that I created for them in a moment. Do you have health insurance? And I know sometimes you say, I cannot afford health insurance. You cannot not afford not to have health insurance. And that was something that I was concerned about when I left corporate America. But thankfully, there is a way for you to get health insurance at an affordable rate. And I want to know today, are you all right? Are you okay? And that's your homework assignment. I need you to write that down. Am I okay? Question mark. Really? Question mark. Am I okay? And you need to unpack that. You need to unpack that. Listen to this commercial. Did you know that some people are paying $0 for health insurance? Yes, I said it, $0. I'm Dr. Sims, America's #1 personal development expert, and I stopped by to let you know that right now, from right now until January the 31st, is open enrollment. Yes, open enrollment. I got the website listed below, truecoverage.com, and the way that True Coverage can help you find the very best health insurance for you is thanks to the Affordable Cares Act, also known as Obamacare. Thousands of people are benefiting from True Coverage, and you can call the number that I got listed below, go to the website, and you can talk to one of the health insurance experts, and they are so friendly. They will help you find the very best coverage for you at the best affordable price for you and your family. So give yourself the peace of mind this holiday season, just like I did. Give yourself peace of mind this holiday season by calling True Coverage right now. I'm Dr. Sims, and one of my favorite sayings is, if you stay high on life, life is going to stay high on you. And one of the ways you can stay high on life is knowing that you got health insurance at a price that you can afford. So call now and find out how you can lower your health insurance costs right now, and give yourself peace of mind for 2022. Hey, and remember, your health is your wealth. And we got 1 month left in this year. We got 1 month. Email me at drsims@drwaltersims.com. Email me and say, Dr. Sims, health is wealth. Put that in the subject line, health is wealth. And say, Dr. Sims, I need help, and I got something special for you. If you're the first person that emails me, drsims@drwaltersims.com, subject line, health is wealth, and you say, Dr. Sims, I need help, I got something for you for the next 4 weeks in the month of December. All right, I got you. All right, and remember, if you stay high on life, life is going to stay high on you.